What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? Noah Gray here, tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Josh's channel and check out showmefootball.com for more.
What is up, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome back to another video on my channel. My name is Josh Fan of showmefootball.com and arrowheadaddict.com, covering your Kansas City Chiefs. And the Chiefs made a very surprising decision earlier today to bring back yet another familiar face. We'll talk about who that is right after this. Ladies and gentlemen of the Chiefs Kingdom, it's good to be back, back to my old setup. I'm back after a long couple-month trip in a different state, but we're back in the normal studio, per se. Not really studio, guest bedroom, office, you can call it whatever you want. But we're back, and that means I'm back to my regular video making schedule, which is great news for you guys. But before anything else, make sure you hit that like button down below and subscribe, because that helps me get seen. But let's talk about this, guys. So the Kansas City Chiefs made another free agent signing earlier today, this time in Mike Edwards. Tom Pelissero of NFL Network reports reunion. Veteran safety Mike Edwards is signing with the Chiefs on a one-year deal, per source. Back with the team he won a Super Bowl with 2 years ago. Now, this really piqued my interest when I saw the news, because this is yet another signing from the Kansas City Chiefs to add some veteran depth. And you can never have enough depth. I mean, Mike Edwards was someone that 2 years ago made a lot of big plays for this team. He has always been someone that has had a knack for the football, finding the football, creating turnovers. And that's something that I love adding back to this defense, even if it's in a smaller, more dialed back role than Mike Edwards had 2 years ago when he was with this team. Because we had to remember that he's maybe not what he once was 2 years ago. But this is still a veteran that you like to have in the safety room, especially, in my opinion, after losing Justin Reid in free agency. It really felt like the Chiefs had to decide between keeping Nick Bolton and Justin Reid. They decided to keep Nick Bolton. I understand why. He's the green dot on defense. He's the commander out on the field. But Mike Edwards at least helps to replace Justin Reid in the aggregate. Someone that, you know, is very physical, plays kind of nasty, is an enforcer on that side of the football. He puts on a lot of big hits, and again, has a knack for creating turnovers. So he helps to replace Justin Reid in the aggregate. That being said, this is definitely not a move that I would consider, you know, big enough that it stops you from drafting safety in this upcoming NFL draft. Because here's what I'll say about Mike Edwards. You know, I like him a lot, but he's yet another strong safety. And this is something that I've talked about over the past few weeks, you know, leading into free agency in the NFL draft. A position that I want the Chiefs to look at is free safety, because it feels like they have a bunch of strong safeties and no free safeties. We saw them try Brian Cook at free safety last year. He was the guy they considered their deep cover safety, and he wasn't very good at that. You saw that he got lost a lot of times in coverage, gave up a lot of big plays. A lot of the big plays that the Chiefs defense gave up last year was because of Brian Cook and coverage. Brian Cook is much better playing up in the box. Jaden Hicks, I think, has a little bit of ability to play free safety. He's a good athlete, but still more of a strong safety, still more of your long-term Justin Reid replacement. But Mike Edwards is yet another piece, at least, you know, that I feel comfortable with in that defensive backfield, just adding depth. We saw many times, you know, last year where the secondary depth got tested, and I think the secondary definitely took a step back last year, a lot of it due to injury and Jalen Watson. But look, I have no complaints about bringing Mike Edwards back. There's also no guarantee he makes the team. Notice that the money was not mentioned in the tweet from Tom Pelissero. Usually that's because it's very cheap. This is probably a vet minimum deal. But this is someone that you won with 2 years ago. You're coming off a Super Bowl loss. You want to get back to your winning ways. I understand adding a player like that. And Mike Edwards is someone that I just think his veteran presence, his leadership, it's going to be great for whatever young guys you decide to keep bringing in on that defensive side of the football. Really no complaints. And I've said, you know, up to this point, I really have no complaints about the Chiefs offseason. All they've done is plug holes left and right at positions of need. I consider this yet another hole that they have now plugged. They definitely needed some safety depth. Again, I'm not sure Mike Edwards stops you from drafting a safety if that's what you want to do in the draft. If a really good prospect comes available, you can still do that. But at the end of the day, it's depth. And this is starting to look like one of the deepest rosters talent-wise that the Chiefs have ever had. And one of my big complaints about this team over years past is it feels like every time they've been in the Super Bowl, they've had the less talented roster. They just haven't been as deep up and down. And other teams that have great quarterbacks, they've still been able to surround their quarterback with a deep and talented roster. Not saying that the Chiefs haven't had good players. Obviously, they have good players, but just that, depth from top to bottom, haven't really had that. Adding a guy like Mike Edwards, who's your safety 3 or 4, I mean, that's good depth, man. I'm not complaining. There's really not much else to say about it besides that. Yet another reunion. A lot of the reunions last year seemed to help out, so I'm not against another reunion, and I like Mike Edwards. I think he's going to help create some more turnovers. He's going to be a good mentor in that secondary, assuming that he sticks. Again, still has to make the team. Not a guarantee that he makes the team, but we'll see what happens. But that's pretty much all I got for this video, guys. Definitely wanted to take this opportunity to hop back on, though, and get the momentum back on the channel since I haven't put up a video here in about a couple weeks now. So there you guys have it. That's all I got for this video. Definitely want to hear from you in the comments down below, though, what your thoughts are on the Kansas City Chiefs bringing back Mike Edwards. Do you see this as a good move? Do you think Mike Edwards will make the team? Definitely want to hear your thoughts down below. But with all that being said, make sure you like, share, and subscribe so more Chiefs fans can find this. And make sure you check out my work on showmefootball.com and arrowheadaddict.com for more. Last but not least, follow me on Twitter at ShowMeFB. That's all I got for this one. I'll see you all in the next one. And as always, go Chiefs!